Gerasimos let go of the doctor's lapel and fell back, exhausted, on his pillow. Believing that he'd come to his senses, the doctor bent over him. "You're a reasonable man, Gerasimos. We'll give you a wooden leg. You won't stay a cripple. You'll live a normal life beside your wife and children," he explained calmly. "What sort of life is that? As half a man? Gerasimos, you don't become half a man because you lose a leg. Let me go and get my instruments, and we'll get that leg taken care of right away." "I told you no!" The doctor stood up, shaking his head helplessly, and turned to the woman. "Speak to him, Kyria Theodora, or he'll die." "I know, but in all the years you've known us, have you ever seen my husband change his mind? Have you ever seen him take notice of any opinion except his own?" The woman bent her head submissively, and the doctor turned back to his patient. "Gerasimos, you must understand. It's a matter of days. If I don't cut it off tonight, you won't live, do you hear me? I've been telling you for so long, I've begged you, for so long, but tonight, you have to make a decision. After this, there's no going back." "There was no going back from the time I stepped on that cursed nail and paid no attention to it. Go, doctor. There's nothing more for you to do here. I won't change my mind. The leg will stay where it is, and I'll reach the next world with all my limbs in place. I won't live as a half-person." "Come to your senses, Gerasimos. How important is a rotten leg? Your soul." "My soul will be crippled if I lose this leg. Leave!" The doctor turned to Theodora, who signaled to him not to insist any more, and he understood it was pointless. He fixed his gaze on Gerasimos, who looked at him, eyes burning with fever, full of stubbornness. "I've never known anyone like you, Gerasimos. That means you'll remember me all your life. I'll see you in the afterlife, doctor. And if your travels bring you this way, come by and see how my wife and children are doing." Gerasimos died a week later, leaving his wife behind, alone and unprotected, with 5 daughters to raise. He had just turned 46. The first years. Gerasimos met Theodora one summer in Pieria when she was just 12 years old, and he was 27. Like all the girls her age in that era, Theodora picked cotton. Her family was poor, and they needed every extra bit of income she could bring home to their small cottage with its 7 mouths to feed. Gerasimos came from a good family. When he was born, no one would have imagined that he would be an only child, but his mother died giving birth to him, and his father never remarried. Fortunately for the baby, an aunt was found to raise him, because his father, a hard man by nature, became even more severe after his wife died. The boy grew up quickly and became the handsomest, tallest fellow in the neighborhood. Many a young girl's heart beat for him, but all he did was break their hearts. By the age of 25, his reputation with women had grown so terrible that mothers ushered their daughters indoors when he passed by. The stories of his reckless, womanizing nature were legendary. One girl in a neighboring village was even rumored to have thrown herself off a cliff because of him. Tall, fair-skinned, with broad shoulders and a body as straight as a cypress, and eyes as green as the leaves on the trees, he could take his pick of whatever women caught his eye. He had grown used to hearing long, drawn-out sighs as he passed by, sighs that spoke of unfulfilled yearning. But he hadn't yet chosen the one who would be the mistress of his life. So for as long as he remained single, the hopes of the girls rose, while the mothers' hearts beat faster in case this Satan took a fancy to one of them. When she first met him, Theodora was an unattractive girl with 2 tight braids that hung on either side of her head. He made no impression on her. Gerasimos, on the other hand, seemed magnetized by the child's glance and was surprised at himself when he found he couldn't get her out of his head. He saw her a month later at a village festival with her brothers and her parents. This time her braids weren't hanging down, but wound in a crown around her head. Again his gaze was fixed on her. His friend, Lefteris, noticed and dug an elbow into his ribs. "Are you